Hello and welcome to FTB Sports. This is the post-match reaction show. West Ham versus Spurs. I am Sam, Spurs for life, and I'm joined by a number of despondent, unhappy Spurs fans. We have Mike, we have Darius, we have Marlon, we have a new member to the team, Deji Spurs. Deji, do you want to be just called Deji or Deji Spurs? You tell me.
Yeah, Deji at the moment.
Deji at the moment. I might just knock off the Spurs for life bit as well. Just call myself Sam from now on. Not the Spurs for life.
Too early.
Just knock that shit off right at the moment because it's not going too well. Gentlemen, thank you for coming on. It's hard. It's difficult. It's really, a game that was a must-win game, and we somehow conspired to give them 2 goals either side of each half. First 2-3 minutes in the first half, and the same thing in the second half. And I don't know where to begin from where we go from here perspective. The only positives I can have. Sorry, just wonder if you've got something in the background, if you don't mind just lowering the sound on that because it's got a bit of feedback. Just in terms of how we go forward from here, the positives that we can take from this, if there is any, is we did have a bit more of an attacking threat, but we were forced into that attacking threat when we were 2-0 down. We can't continue like this as watching this team. The manager, I'm going to have to give a whole host of blame today just for the fact that we started 2 of these centre-backs. The 2 centre-backs that started have got the most mistakes between them of all the centre-backs that we've been playing all season, and we play them both together in a must-win game against West Ham, who are going to be just throwing balls into the box. Very physical, and we just cannot deal with it. I don't know where to begin. Mike, do you want to start us off with any sort of comments about the game, how you felt we did, what we didn't do?
For me, it's quite simple. I thought this lineup, when I first saw the lineup, although Darius threw me a little bit, I was like, oh, this looks very promising. When I got the second lineup, I was like, you know what? The lineup still looks good. And then I look and I see the 2 centre-backs, and it just killed me. It killed my hope of winning the game, keeping a clean sheet. In terms of like the rest of the team, I don't really think like the team played bad. It's just those individual mistakes, errors, lack of concentration that just keep us conceding silly, because West Ham didn't even play well. I mean, I can't remember them looking at any point during the match where I was like, oh yeah, these lot look good today. They're gonna give us a good hiding. I didn't feel any of that at all. But it's just individual mistakes that are just killing us. And yeah, I see Toby's on the bench. It just doesn't make sense.
I don't know what's going on with the centre backs, and I don't know what's going on with Jose in terms of picking these centre backs. As soon as I saw that defensive lineup in terms of the centre backs, I was like, we've got zero confidence here. Lloris hasn't been playing well recently anyway, so you've almost what you call the triangle pivot in that central area from a defensive point of view. All of them are shocking in terms of mistakes. And maybe Lloris didn't make too many today, apart from that one at the end where he's trying to kick the ball. But again, chasing the game, I'm not bothered about that at the end of the day. But just to see a ball being thrown into the box and Dyer just not heading. When I saw what was happening with the West Ham players, when balls came into the box, there was always someone trying to attack. There was always someone trying to defend. That's what defenders do. That's what defenders are supposed to do. I'm not bothered about them blocking shots, and just get your head on the ball. I don't care about you having to play out from the back if you can't do that. We've seen that the players can't do certain things. So what you need to do is just keep it simple and play your game, defend what you need to defend, head the ball out, and just not make absolute amateur errors every single game.
But mate, you look at Dyer. That guy cannot judge a ball in the air. He can't judge it. Like literally, as a professional, even as a footballer, if you can't judge the flight of a football coming, you shouldn't. You just one, you shouldn't be playing at centre back if you can't judge the flight of a ball coming over your head, and 2, it's not as if it's like the one-off mistake. It happens every single game that he plays. He just misjudges the flight of the ball, and it goes over his head.
Darius, what did you think of the selection today? And looking at how they performed, did you did you have confidence that we were going to win this game?
I had confidence that we could win this game. I just didn't have confidence we'll keep a clean sheet. And for me, it's Jose's. For me, he's walking a tightrope with the way he plays football, the way he approaches games. He leaves himself no room for error. If he doesn't go out and win the game, and we continue to play like that, then if we don't get the 3 points, it's like for me, it goes solely on him. He's had a few players that have kind of alleviated that blame slightly because of their individual errors in his centre backs and the goalkeeper. So we've kind of looked towards those players. So not blame necessarily, but they are sometimes, and especially again when you see the likes of Sanchez flopping on the floor against Man City and sleeping, like, you can't blame Jose for stuff like that.
No.
But then when the guy goes and chooses the same players and drops players, can we like just go back a month or two and think why Alderweireld got dropped in the first place? That's the sort of things. It's Rodon debuted against Chelsea, didn't play bad. Every game he's played, he's made a couple errors, but the guy's 22, 23 years old, just coming into a Tottenham team. Like I'm expecting that from Sanchez, who's been here 4 years. And from Dyer, who wants to claim himself, he wants to claim he's a centre-back. He's told Jose, I'm a centre-back. Cool. Your manager's put trust in you, but you're not repaying that trust. So for me, those two players getting constantly played, I start to think, okay, now it's not their fault because they ain't choosing themselves, are they? They're not saying, right, I'm playing Jose, you ain't going to do nothing about it. He's playing them. So now I'm going back to the point that Jose, why are you choosing these players if they're not actually giving you any reason to choose them? You kind of just trusting them on the basis of that you still think they're good enough. And for me, the whole Sanchez has got pace. He's the only centre back with pace. No, he's not. Tanganga's a centre back. He plays centre back. Jose just thinks he's a right back. He's not a right back. We've clearly seen this game that we need a right back, especially against a team like West Ham. We're going to do the exact same thing at us. We need both fullbacks to bomb down that flank and create space and basically effectively break down the low block, because the only way to break down a low block like that is to split that defense apart. They were so compact. Every single player was in the lines of the 18-yard box. You put two players out wide, you can split that defense so much easier. So again, Jose's choosing to play Tanganga as centre back and right back, and he's choosing to play these centre backs. I can't justify that. I can't blame the players for continually making mistakes if they're being played. So for me, I think the lineup, when I look at the lineup, it was kind of all wrong in my opinion. Again, Gareth Bale, I've knocked on about Gareth Bale not playing well and not really being in for it. But he played well against Wolfsburg, and he came on and he played very, very well. And we've all said to Gareth Bale, playing that 10, you don't have much defensive duty, and you've got a lot more quality than Lamella. I mean, Lamella can do a couple soul rolls. Bale can do a lot more than Lamella. So why not play Bale in that 10 from now? Again, I'm lost for words. The game, I don't really analyze the game so much because the personnel, from when I saw the lineup, the personnel just like Mike said, didn't really put me in any mood to think that anything was going to come from it. So I can't really analyze the game when individuals are making so many mistakes. It's just one of them.
Deji, I'll come to you next. Do you blame the players? Do you blame the manager for this performance, or is it a combination of both?
I 100% blame Jose, and I'm going to publicly declare that I would like his job on a no-win, no-fee basis, because I think the guy just doesn't have a clue. And I'll tell you why. Some of the stuff that Jose's been doing, you can just tell he's absolutely clueless. And from the back four always look like they've never played together in their life. It looks like they haven't trained together. It's quite simple. The players we have are actually decent, but football's a game of chess. You've got to put the right players in the right positions. And sometimes the positions change. I agree with Darius. You know, Bell's no longer a winger. You know, he needs to be playing that number 10 or even up front since Kane has turned into Kevin De Bruyne all of a sudden. But what's missing is this for me. Lamella is not a number 10. So what we should be doing is having Højbjerg, Ndombele, and then if Lo Celso was fit, Lo Celso or Dele or Kane. Kane drops so far back sometimes, it makes you wonder. And then have a Vinicius up top, Son or Moira or Bergwijn. Keep it simple with the lineup, with the Spurs team.
But Deji, let me just ask you something. Will that help the defence? Because when we saw what we were doing in the second half, particularly when Gareth Bale come on, I was quite impressed with how he was playing, and particularly as you said, picking that ball up in a role where he's not having to do much defensive work, and his quality was beginning to really come through. But when you when you are playing in a team, and I saw some of the players' faces when they see what's happening. Højbjerg's looking at the defence and thinking, I've got to go back in that centre-back area. I've got to help this lot out. It doesn't help the confidence of the team. I know what you're saying in terms of, you know, building play up and having players in the more attacking areas. But certainly when we do that, we looked a lot better. But you can't build foundations on jelly. That's what we've got. We've got jelly at the back.
It's true, Sam. But the thing is, we've got arguably our best defender. He's been our best defender for a number of years, and I still think he is. Toby's on the bench. He's not injured. Exactly. There's no reason for him to be on the bench. And if anything, when you've got two shaky people, you need one, at least one of them needs to be solid. Usually when Toby's 100%. There, if he's with Dyer or Sanchez, you can kind of bite the bullet because at least one of them is steady. But when you have two Tweedledee and Tweedledum together, that's what it is. For disaster.
The thing is, I would feel more comfortable with Davis playing at centre back than Sanchez or Dyer. That's the honest truth. If they said, look, if Mourinho came out and said, look, guys, this is the reason why I've put Davis at centre back. It's because I can't trust Sanchez and I can't trust Dyer, and Toby hasn't got it in his legs to play 2 or 3 games a week. So I've got to sort of chop and change between Davis and Rodon. I'd be cool with that. I'd be like, you know what? Davis has less mistakes in him than the other two, so I could understand. But you can't leave Toby on the bench, especially in midweek when we haven't even got. Is it Wolfsburg midweek we've got
on Wednesday?
On Wednesday, so it's not. We're 4-1 up, so it's not like we need Toby to be available for that game.
Exactly,
just doesn't make sense.
I would be more comfortable if Ledley King was playing at centre back in flip flops, having not warmed up, in tracksuit bottoms, and just come on.
He must be
no haircut, no fade, nothing. Just come on the pitch and play, Ledley, because it cannot be any worse than some of the things I've seen from some of our centre backs in the last few games. It's unforgivable.
All he would need is the players to do the running for him, and he could just be there, just say, right, you get over there, you go over there, and he'll
in flip flops. He could do it in flip flops. He could play in flip flops, and I'd be like, no, it's no problem, because you're better than them in boots.
Yeah,
no problem. No,
he must be thinking that as well.
I didn't want to say this because I love him to bits, but this is what Poch knew. Dyer wasn't getting in the squad. Sanchez wasn't getting in the squad, and what we're seeing now is that Poch has been vindicated. You know. That's the reason why those guys were not playing. And the other thing is that Mourinho is being paid £15 million a year for that rubbish. Now, the other two managers that are getting 15 million is Jurgen Klopp and it's Pep Guardiola. If you're getting that sort of money, we should be guaranteed top 4. It's as simple as that. And right now, we're going into the bottom half of the table, and that's just not acceptable.
Let's not even talk about if Arsenal win today. I mean, it's poor. For me, it's just like Deji says. I think that if you look at the Tottenham squad, our attack is, we've got probably two of the best attackers in the world. Let's be honest with ourselves. We've got two of the best attackers in the world in their prime, playing their best seasons they've played. For me, when I look at our defense, playing how Jose plays isn't going to benefit anybody. It's going to do anything for anyone's confidence. At the end of the day, you have to kind of take a leaf out of a book like Marcelo Bielsa, where you just have if you've got players like Kane and Son look how many chances they created. It was a very unlucky game. We could have scored more goals today. Deflections hitting the post, Bale rattling the bar, Kane putting literally shots inches past the post. There was chances there. For me, if you've got a team like that where you're top heavy, you've got much better chances of winning games by scoring 4, doing what West Ham did, more so, even more extreme. Score 3 goals, 4 goals, and let's give the defense a chance. 3 chances. We have to give our defense 3 or 4 chances. Even 3 chances isn't good enough, as seen in the West Ham game prior to this year. We have to give our defense 3 or 4 chances if Toby isn't on his A game and if Rodon isn't on their A game to basically guarantee a win, because 2 goals go in like that, easy. Sanchez and Dyer for that second goal, I don't know what was going on. I've realised now we have to give this defence at least 2 or 3 chances. And by doing that, the only way we can do that is by attacking more and scoring more goals. But it doesn't seem like that's going to happen.
That's the case when you've got those two playing anyway.
Yeah, but
what you should have done, it cried out for someone like Vinicius, someone that's just there to pick up the scraps, because the amount of times where the ball was just ricocheting off, it was loose in the box. Vinicius would have picked up 1 or 2 of those chances, and I'm sure he would have put it in the back of net, because it was crying for someone that is like Vinicius, who's just an 18-yard striker who would just feed off the scraps and just put the ball in the back of the net.
Marlon, I'm going to come to you. I know you've been quiet in the background, and I know you've got some things to say, but you're chuckling there. So
that evil laugh,
yeah, give it to us. Give it to the Spurs fans. Give it to the viewers. What's your
All right.
thoughts on
For
today's
the first
performance?
half of that game, yeah, I was playing this. That's how boring the game was.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. I actually don't blame you.
Yeah.
Oh my days, it's shocking. Where shall I start? The defense here is a joke. I agree with you 100%. The defense is a joke. And I think the only reason we went for the second half is because we had to. But we still had so many chances to get back in that game. I think there was a chance where Kane got through on the right. I don't know. I think he just took a bit too long to pull it in. And somehow,
the one where Son was running in.
Yeah, and I think it was Daly as well. He missed that. But then even with Daly, I think he slows us down too much. And Lemela, I think I've had enough of him.
I think he played all right, to be fair. I think he played all right.
I think he slowed us down.
Let me put these stats up whilst you guys are talking about it, just to see what we were actually doing in the game today. So again, possession-wise, 69% possession, 31 to them. But again, they were 2-0 up come 2-3 minutes into the second half, so I expect that. 20 shots to 4. But then look at that below. On target, 4 shots on target. And they had 4 shots and 4 on target. We had 7 corners to 5.
West Ham,
they
weren't.
They were poor. Well, not poor, but that's how we play, though, guys. That's how we play. That's what I don't get. Like, that's how we play. We play the exact same as them, so I can't even say that they played poor. Then I'll be saying that we played poor.
I'll be honest, but the one thing is, West Ham, they look like they've got a game plan, and it works for them, and it works for the players. Even though we know how Jose plays, when we play football, let's just be honest. It looks like they've just been sent out on the pitch with no instruction.
When we're trailing,
that second half, let's be real. He's just thrown on Delhi. He's just thrown on Bell,
and
he's hoped for the best. That's why we were attacking, because if he had a game plan, we wouldn't have gone past the halfway line. That's just the truth.
Can I ask a question? Do you think that we had those 20 shots because of the fact that Jesse Lingard scored so quickly in that second half? Do you think that the whole game would have been different had Lingard not scored him? It was potentially one.
The shots were not quality shots. Yeah. If you look at some of the shots that we were taking, the ones I saw a couple from Mora, they were way over the bar. There was Dyer was ones way over the bar. They're not quality shots.
Why
you know what I'm saying?
Why are they even allowing Dyer to take a shot? Like, he's a centre back. Sanchez took a shot, and they're probably still going to collect the ball now.
Sanchez was there for the rebound when Son hit the post, and I think you make the good point that if Vinicius was in the position that Sanchez was at for that rebound off the post, Vinicius might have been a bit more aware to finish that. It's little things like that. It's
really smart. And like I said, just going back to that setup, and there's things that Deji was saying that made a lot of sense in terms of how we could go forward with this. If you put like Vinicius up top, and this is what I'm saying, Kane is playing a deeper role. Maybe not quite De Bruyne level, but certainly playing deeper. So play him there. Play Gareth Bale off the right, but then allow him to come back into the centre and maybe swap players around so they can drift in and out. You've got to have a fluid front four, if you want to call it that. You can have Højbjerg. You can have Højbjerg staying more defensive, but then on Dembele, if he's going to play in the double pivot, is allowed to go further forward. If the play breaks down, you then have to rely on good centre backs to defend the counter attack. Yeah. Every single time they counterattacked us, it looked like there was going to be a problem in the middle of defense, and that is where the problem is. It's like,
you know what? I think you've got a point there, but also at the same time, you don't need to necessarily have good centre backs to stop a counter attack. It's look at Leicester; they've got Johnny Evans playing centre back. He just knows how to defend, and he's positionally aware.
Positional. That's what it is.
He's not positional awareness.
His positional sense is much better. Now, if you watch, and again, I always go back to the Sanchez thing. If you watch what Sanchez does, and I know people were saying today he didn't have a bad game. It's not about that. It's about his positional play. Where is he for these goals? What is he doing in terms of driving him, getting himself caught in midfield, and then when they win the ball, it's just one ball into the middle of an area where you've got Dyer, who's I just don't know what he does, and then you've got a goalkeeper who's devoid of real quality at times. You know, when he's really under pressure, I don't think Lloris is the best goalkeeper.
He's a shot stopper, really. That's what he is.
Yeah, he can shot stop, but I keep saying,
like coming off his line, does he?
No,
that's what you want a keeper to do. You want a keeper to shot stop, but when you want more from your players in terms of creativity, you build from the back. Creativity starts at the back. Yeah. Your defense should start your attack if you're going to build play. You think?
No,
you think?
Yeah, but you know,
he's just defending his ball. He's not a defender.
Say again.
when you play football, sorry, Marlon, when you play football,
yeah.
You know, I remember on the Poch, I keep going back. Sanchez was bad, Dyer was bad. They were never this bad. And the thing is, what Mourinho has done, as he's done what I call the space, he's given them a dose of Space Jam, which is that he's taken out their talent from them. These guys are fearful of the ball.
I just think he's put too much pressure on them.
They're so fearful of conceding the goal. They're conceding more goals and there's more gaps.
100%
if they
agree.
played with a bit of freedom,
100%
some of those
agree.
mistakes they don't happen because you're
Facts.
playing the game. You know, when
Told you
Liverpool
before.
play, their centre backs aren't great. You know, I would argue that the reason why Liverpool's struggling is because he has no faith in the current centre backs he's got. Just put Henderson
100%.
back there. Just play people in their position. Let them play. But what he's done is put so much shackles on the guys.
Where would you play Dyer? Because he's not a defender.
I wouldn't play the guy, fam.
Play who?
Play him.
Dyer, okay.
Where would you play Dyer? Where would you
Yeah,
play
no,
him?
I'll play him on my subs bench. Let him fetch the water.
He's just not good enough. But then, like Deji's right in what he's saying. It's about the whole. I kept on saying earlier on, especially during that phase where we were drawing with Palace, drawing with Wolves. If you make a team defend for 80 minutes, how can we be angry at one of those players eventually going to make a mistake? They conceded one goal. I'd probably say that's impressive to say that they've had pressure on them for 75, 80 minutes of the game. It comes down to the responsibility of the manager to kind of alleviate the pressure and what Deji said. I think he's 100% right.
But that didn't happen today. The problem we had today was we didn't even get to see whether or not we were going to have any sort of build-up play because they scored within the first 3 or 4 minutes. That is them putting the defense under almost even more pressure because now if we are going to be attacking, we're going to leave gaps, which means if we leave gaps, the defense is going to be under more pressure. They didn't even have a chance to build up anything by not being under pressure because from the very start, in terms of, like I said, them scoring within 5 minutes, they're on the back foot. I always thought the first goal was going to be massively important, and so it proved. When the State got it, West Ham are better defensively than us. It was clear to see. Their defenders were better than us. So even though we had, 20-odd shots, 4 on target, block shots, their defense didn't look like they were going to concede
They're
too
organised.
many. And I know we had this couple of hit off the crossbar and the bar, and all, but again, we're trying to force play in the last 10 minutes of a game, so I expect that to happen.
No, second half we played well. Second half we played very well.
I think second half we played well. No, I do think we played well. Yeah,
we played well because Bale, everything was going through Bale. Bale showed the quality that we've been lacking. So you can see like our outlay going for an attack was going from Højbjerg and Dembele, and or if it was one of the centre backs, but they were always looking for Bale. Which, to be fair to him, when he did get the ball, he was making things happen, which just wasn't happening in the first half. So why, again, it goes back to the point of why didn't you just play him in the first half and see what he could do?
Again,
if it wasn't working out, sub him and change it about. But
we're chasing the game. Remember, we were chasing the game from the 48th minute in the second half. So I expect us to be attacking. I don't expect us to be sitting back in 2-0 down. So that will happen naturally anyway. What I want to see is that same philosophy, that same way of playing with a bit more control defensively when it's 0-0. When you look, because today we had to win. Today was you must win this game, lads. Keep it tight at the back and then play your football. Jose didn't pick the right players to be able to play that football until the second half. And when we did do it in the second half, it's only because we had to. It wasn't like if we'd have got the goals back and it was like 1-0 and then we got it back to 1-1, it would have been different to see how we'd have played then. But we didn't. We were 2-0 down. So we're always going to have to chase, which meant there's always going to be a problem at the back if they got caught on the counter attack.
But what is
it's a tricky one
that every club talk about? Sorry, like, every club say, when you try and keep a stable back four, so they build up a rhythm, they build up a relationship. I can't remember the last time that we played the same back four.
Yeah, we haven't.
2 games on the bounce.
I was going to say that. That's a problem.
They take Reguilon off as well. That's another thing.
Yeah,
I know he might have been
as well.
I mean, he offered so much as an outlet on that left side that it didn't make sense. Even if he's, play him higher.
No, he got
to play
a
high.
That's right.
He got to come back. If he's tired, and that's the reason why. Sorry, say again.
I think it's because he had a yellow card.
But there was plenty of players that had yellow cards in the game today. That to me, if you want to win a game or you want to get goals back, you keep your most attacking players on, particularly when you're losing in the way we were losing. If Reguilon is having problems getting up and down because he's just come back from injury, just keep him high. Play him high. Højbjerg can then do the shuffling across to fill in the spaces, or Ndombele if you must. That's not what Jose did. He was like, okay, just throw everybody on. And that's what happened. He just threw them players on and expected them to go out. Now, what Gareth Bale did well today, and I really have to give him praise for that, is he just said, look, I don't have to stay on the left. Or sorry, don't have to stay on the right. Let me go in the centre area, pick the ball up. Let Moura do all that running up and down, because that's what Moura is good at, if you can call that. He just runs with the ball. And it worked because the players who have the ability to make the final pass in the final third were doing that. And Gareth Bale was doing that. You know, Kane was doing that. Ndombele always looking for that forward pass. And that's one of the beauties about having him in the team. But again, he must be thinking to himself, what the hell can I do?
And you can see that in the game. He was like that. He was trying to look for passes and there was nobody around him. And it's so, and you know what? I think it is. I understand Lamella's been good. I will not take it away from Lamella. For the past couple of weeks, he's been good, but he's not a traditional. He's not even traditional. He's just not a number 10. And the problem with that is he leaves too much space in that hole where he doesn't link the play between, like we said, between Højbjerg and the forwards, or Ndombele and the forwards. That's what Bale did. Bale was dropping into, so when Kane would drop into the 10, he would drop onto the last man, and then vice versa. If Kane was playing on the last man, Bale would drop into the 10, but he wouldn't just drop into the 10. He would drop and try to receive a pass and then lay off and then make a movement onwards. That's the issue. Lamella likes to carry the ball, and sometimes that can slow our play down, like we've said.
He has to carry it too far. You carries it, then you've got to find that pass. If you find that pass, and that's where you have the fullbacks. What Tanganga wasn't doing in the first half, the fullbacks is where the space is. So your fullback from the Spurs perspective needs to be in that space across where the three in the midfield are. And then when you've got someone like Lamella running with the ball, you play it out wide, and then you can get crosses in to deal with that. And maybe we're not good at maybe scoring from headers, but that's the point. If you get the ball in the box, there's always an opportunity. As we saw in the second half when we did it, balls were ricocheting everywhere, hitting the post, hitting the crossbar. You can chase the game like that, but you don't have that in our team. We don't build up play well until it's desperate. Lads, we've got a lot of comments in, so I want you to respond to some of these comments coming through. As you expect, it's going to be quite a few from people wanting to give us grief. So the first one here from Solo. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Good afternoon. Pipe 71. Mourinho wants the sack. The only explanation I can think of for his pairing of Sanchez and Dyer, he cannot be of the sane mind to be picking these two clowns. That I think just feeds into what we've been saying. Do you know what I'm saying?
You can't play them together.
You can't play them together. So the manager has to take full responsibility for that. 100%.
If we see that again, then it is suicide. He is trying to kill us. Like,
but then he won't drop Dyer. Well, he dropped him recently, but he won't. He'll always bring him back.
But he can drop Alderweireld, and again, none of this makes sense. He's dropped Sissoko, and I thought Sissoko was going to be undroppable. I didn't think Sissoko was going to get dropped, and he seemed to have now. So I think anyone can get dropped.
If he doesn't drop Dyer, then we drop him.
Dyer, his distribution is good though, and he is committed, but he just got a mistake.
He's just not good enough centre back. At the end of the day, he's just not a good enough centre back. And
I don't think his distribution is good, Marlon. I really don't.
Dyer wouldn't get into West Brom. Let's just keep it real.
So I agree. I don't think he's very good.
I think he's a footballing defender. He's better footballer wise. In fact, he's the only one.
But in this day and age as centre back, you do need a bit of pace about you. And Dyer, he just hasn't got it. He's just.
I don't think he's good enough. I'm sorry. I'm
just not good enough. We were all saying the same thing.
I'm sorry to say, I just don't think Dyer is good enough. Poch, as you said, Deji, earlier, Poch found him out. That's why he weren't playing. He didn't play him at centre midfield. He didn't play him holding midfield. He didn't play him anywhere because he's not good enough. His distribution, all right, okay. I don't play football anymore, but when I've got time and space, I think I can still ping a 50-yard ball pretty decently. That's what he does, if you've got time and space. Now, good players who are under pressure, that's when you find out whether they're good or not. Under pressure. And he is not good under pressure. He doesn't distribute well. As in Lloris, does not distribute well, whether he's got pressure or not. He's not good enough at the back with his feet. So therefore, you can't build play up. You cannot build play up from the back. So we're then resorting to long balls forward in the hope that we can get a knock on from Son. We can get a knock on from Kane. Somebody's going to pick the second ball up. If you don't pick second balls up, you're never going to. That style's never going to work. You just made the point. You can play that style of football and still be effective. I mean, Liverpool and Leipzig play that a similar way where they'll play a long ball up, but they will be the first players to be on that second ball. So if they play a long ball up like Trent will do, and the header comes down, best believe Mane,
Henderson, Wijnaldum are going to flood
Second
you
balls.
and win the ball back and go again, because it gets you. It does get you up the pitch. At the end of the day, if you want to get up the pitch quickly, quickest way to do it is get the ball forward. And if you can work on winning the ball and pressing effectively when the ball comes down, you can play effectively that way. It's just that Mourinho doesn't do that. He just plays the ball forward and it just comes back. And there's no sort of interplay between our players. No players make. I keep saying every single week I'll say this. Players don't make runs for the sake of making runs. The only people that do that is Son and Kane. So,
and we were a great pressing team under Poch.
Exactly.
I mean, our pressing play was.
It was unbelievable. So it's not like the players can't do that. It's for me. It's the coach. It's the manager, the coach, telling his players to basically hold back. He doesn't want to take that risk. And every team that you see winning and playing football in a good way and winning trophies take a risk. Bayern Munich don't win trophies by defending like that. The defense is a little bit shaky because they take that risk and play such a high line. City the same. You're gonna expect mistakes. You have to take risks in football to be able to get a result and to be able to, do you know what I mean, dominate games. At the end of the day, I don't think that playing the way that we play with Jose, with the centre backs that we've got, is helping anybody in any situation. So
Jose taking us back to 1901. Do you know what I mean?
it's true though. I wouldn't have a problem with it. I wouldn't care if we had a good enough. You know, if we had bought Ruben Diaz, and I know he cost 60 mil, but if we had bought Ruben Diaz and we play the way that we play, I think it would work because Ruben Diaz. It was never going to happen. But
never going to happen.
They're the kind of centre backs that you sign to play the style that Jose's playing. You don't play that sort of football with Dyer and Sanchez as your centre backs. I'm sorry, and you have to realise that, or you have to change your lineup.
We're going to have to spend 60 million to bring in any sort of decent centre back.
Or you change the way you play football and you compensate. You don't. No, you can get a good centre. You can get a player like Rodon in, and you can change the way that you play football, so you can have Son and Kane taking a lot more chances and potentially scoring more goals. That's how I think of it. If you haven't got the money to buy the centre backs to play the football, you have to change the way you play.
How much is Dunk? I'll take Dunk all day, every day.
I take Dunk over Dyer from Brighton.
Oh hell no.
I take him over Dyer.
I'd take him over Sanchez, to be fair.
In fact, Dunk sounds appealing at the moment when I see Sanchez playing. Even though, you know what I mean? I'm thinking about it now. You know what? No, I'm not joking. The level of players we're talking about now just shows how much in the mud we are with our centre backs.
Yeah.
It's centre backs. It's the centre backs. That's what is killing us.
As in coming back into our team and thinking, you know what? He could actually, that's what I'm saying. I agree with you on 2 counts in that, Marlon. 1, no, he's not good enough. But then, is he better than what we've got? Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Them players, that comment you made.
We've got better on the bench, guys. This is what's annoying me. We've got better on the bench. We are not playing our best centre-back partnerships. So how can we make a judgment of our team if we're not even playing our best team? Our manager's not playing our best team. So...
That for me is that's the only thing that is at fault with our team, because that's the position that's just it's embarrassing because you sort the centre backs out and then the rest of the team will sort itself out because they'll have confidence.
Because they'll have confidence. As you said, the confidence will have.
Confidence will be there.
You made a good point about 1901. Them players look like they had boots on from 1901, and they had them on the wrong feet as well. They put them on the left and the right and the right. It don't make no sense. How can you play? It's doing my head in now. I'm thinking about some of the things I'm seeing over the last few games, not just this game, just over the last few games, and it's really getting to me because if the manager cannot see that those 2 players, and I know we've gone on about them a bit too much, that those 2 players cannot play together, then there's something going on in that whole setup. If Rodon's not even making the bench and Alderweireld's on the bench,
squad, man.
They must be doing something in training.
What's going on? Like, what is going on? Go on.
Yes.
I reckon them 2 centre-backs that play today will play in the cup. Will play in the McDonald's Cup final.
Oh, don't say that.
Dyer and Sanchez will start against Man City.
You think so?
I won't even bother watching it if that's the case.
I don't know.
It's just sad. It's sad.
It's sad. We've got a load more comments coming through, so I'm going to have to go through some of them. Respond to them as you wish. This one is not nice. Jason, mate, I'm an Arsenal fan and I can't see us winning today, but if we do, then Spurs will be the meme team of this season. If Arsenal go above us after the hell that they've taken this season, it will be an embarrassment. They were
14th. Was they 14th and we were first at one point? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Again, for me, that's we talk about it. That's sackable to me. Like, bro, you can't be 14 places from your rivals. And it's bad. It's bad. We're in a bad situation right now.
He's not going this season. I think we've got to take him. He's not getting sacked before the end of the season. That's 100% guaranteed. It's not going to happen.
Because whatever manager you brought in now would still have the same issues. Well, in fact, you'd hope they'd have common sense and be like, well, actually, Mourinho's fucked up here with those two centre-backs. So they're not getting in this team unless I've got injuries. So they might learn a lesson from Mourinho. But
I have some degree of sympathy for Jose in the fact that he's got defenders that are not quality. However, I can't legislate for him playing the same two defenders that are making.
He doesn't learn from his mistakes.
That's what I'm saying. He's not learning from the mistakes.
Sympathy when your players aren't injured.
Can't have
you're
sympathy
literally
for
not putting one on the squad. Like you can't. I'm sorry. There's no sympathy for me.
Pipe 71. Long term, ENIC have to go, but short term, Mourinho is done. He's done out here, but we have to get rid of him. Well, he's not going before the end of this season. I'll tell you that much. Just some more comments coming through here. So, Solo, you cannot keep blaming the defence. It's the way Jose sets his team up. You could go out and buy 3 new centre-backs that's worth over 400 mil, and it will be the same. Well, I disagree 100% with that. 100%. Because you can just see what they've done at City. You know, bring in a quality centre-back, give confidence, and it makes a massive difference. So that comment there is just...
And the ability from those centre-backs that would be brought in, you just... The confidence would just ooze from the fact that you've got a tight ship at the back. You're not going to be sinking goals from stupid errors. We wouldn't be, that comment's, I think he's trolling us.
Lamella plays like he's controlled by someone playing FIFA and they're just pressing
that's actually, no, you know what? That's a very, very, very good analogy. I actually can't lie. That's exactly how he plays. Like literally, he's just pressing the analog button. He's just pressing skill buttons. That's Lamella. That's all he's doing is pressing skill buttons. I'm telling you, that's such a great analogy. I'm sticking to that one.
The funniest one I've seen for a long time.
He's a pro clubs player. That's what he's an ultimate team player, Lamella. Like honestly, I understand he's doing well, but he does just literally do the most random things, doesn't he?
We're pressing the trigger button X, Y, O, X at the same time. Trigger button. Danny's
Sorrow's skills.
Pipe
man,
71.
honestly.
Thank you very much for that. That has brightened up my day. It's a very dark day, but you brightened it up with that comment because I can't get over that one. Yo, that's superb.
That's actually great. That's actually great.
That's absolutely killed me. That has. Sorry, lads. I'm just have to just concentrate again because going back to that. Yeah, we oh dear. And this is the point now. We're gonna have this. It's going forward now. We're gonna have to see what happens from here because there's I would say there's more comfortable games coming up. Certainly Wednesday is a game that's put to bed already. We've won 4-1 in the week.
Wednesday or Thursday? Oh, Wednesday.
It's Wednesday, playing a day earlier. And then our next game is not until Sunday against Burnley, and I believe it's Burnley at home.
Same. It's going to be a blueprint of this game.
Are you confident? Marlon, are you confident of that game? Sorry, Marlon. I just want to ask Doc Marlon about. Are you confident in next Sunday winning against Burnley? Because I forget the game in midweek. I don't think that counts anymore because I think whatever team we put out, even if we put out the Sanchez's and the Dyes in that, I don't think that we can F that game up any more than we have done today. But Sunday next week against Burnley.
Yeah, we'll win comfortably as well. I think Mourinho's got this about this Spurs team. They'll play bad in a game and the next game they'll come out and prove themselves, but they'll win. They're not going to make top 4, but I still think they're going to win. He just needs to sort out the whole mindset of the players, and I think that's the problem. They are scared to make mistakes, and then they're making mistakes constantly, and that's the problem. That's my point.
I'm not confident. I think we'll win.
I don't even feel that sad today. I don't know why though, because I think that
because you knew what was going to happen. That's why.
No, it's 7.5. No.
He's going to kill me as well now. He's going to kill me too. You can't do this. You can't do this to me today, man. You can't kill me like this today, man. It's not funny now. It's not funny.
The second half was good. The second half was good. So I look at the positives. The first half, as I told you, I weren't watching the game. I was just like, oh, whatever.
He's playing Football Manager on your phone.
So you knew what was happening, Marlon. You already knew, like you said. You knew what was happening. You didn't even want to watch it because you just said, you know what? We ain't winning this shit today. And when I saw the goal going after 3 minutes, I said, you know what? We ain't winning this game today, man. We could get a draw out of it, but I didn't think we were going to win it because the first goal for me had to be us today, and we just wasn't.
It always has to be us. But then again, we say that when we score the first goal, we go into flipping shutdown mode, and that makes things worse as well. So then again, I think maybe us conceding 2 goals, And it's crazy me thinking that. I should never want to think that my team needs to concede for us to see a good performance. That's ridiculous. And
that's how they've become this season.
Yeah, we can't allow that to happen. I'm sorry, under any manager, I don't care how good you are, you can't be wanting your team to concede to know that you're going to get performance out of them. You should see your team come out from first minute and fight until the end. It's unforgivable, and I think that going forward, we have to see it. We keep saying this, we have to see a change, but we have to see a change. We have to see something.
To be honest, my saving grace is we're above Arsenal. If
for now,
Arsenal
at the moment,
above us, I'll be
at the moment.
For now, mate.
Exactly. They're gunning for me. They're all gunning for us, but oh my days.
Another comment here. Pipe 71, aka Kevin Hart, because he's killed me today. Jose's tactics are pathetic, but they are compounded by having brain dead defenders. But Jose keeps picking, so it does fall back on him, and it does fall back on him. Again, Pipe 71, Dyer is fit to cut oranges at half time. Anything else you ask him is a bit too much of him. Yeah, Pipes, you're killing me today, man. You should be on this program. You need to come on here just to keep our energy levels high. Whew, it's easy to play better when 2-0 down. Totally meaningless. No, I 100% agree with that.
Pipes on fire right now, man.
Where do we go from here, gents? Where do we go from here?
Oh, it's simple, isn't it? Don't play the Chuckle Brothers and we'll be fine. Get rid of them. Don't play them, and our defense is going to feel a bit. If you've got Toby in that back line and Rodon, they're not going to make.
What if he does play him again? What if he does play him again though? Like,
I won't watch. I just won't watch the game.
It's one of them, isn't it?
I play Championship Manager like Marlon.
I might download it. Mourinho, when he's playing those centre backs, he's affecting all of our mental well-being. And I can't cope for the rest of the season if Tweedledee and Tweedledum are still there. They're killing us.
This lockdown's been tough. It's been tough as it is anyway, and it's not being made any easier. It's not being made any easier by our team at this moment in time. Like you said, it's affecting our well-being, and it shouldn't be the case, man.
I'm very like I said this. I can't remember what game it was that made me just. It was earlier on. I think it was again the City game. I just don't care about I'm kind of null and void for these games now. I don't really care about what happens in these games. The important games for me is the Europa League, and still the Carabao Cup is important. Like I said,
I agree.
The league is done. Top 4 is done for me.
Do we agree with this comment then from Solo? Jose with his setup only wants to nick a 1-0 win every game. He never goes for it all until you start losing. Then Jose tries to.
He does go at the start of the game. He does go at the start because he wants to take that 1-0 lead. So we'll feel like I said, there's a blueprint to our games. It's first 5 minutes press, get the goal, go for 45 minutes being a bit okay, and then in the second half we don't come out. But it's like you said. What confidence can you have if we look at that starting lineup and we're going to see one of those centre backs, or if not both of them? So.
It's done.
Here we go. Gunner's beginning to troll. Fern's Gunner. Road to St. Tottering's Day begins today. Well, let's see if you beat City first.
On De Bruyne, I was going to say.
Let's see if you beat City first on that one. Pipe 71. You must mean his distribution of the oranges at half time. Mr. B. How long will it take for Jose to lose the dressing room?
He's lost already.
Do you think?
Nah, he's
not the dressing room.
Nah, I think the final is going to be the decider. I think he's got him to a final, and I think if he's put all his eggs in that Carabao Cup. If you don't win the Carabao Cup, the whole season's going to derail.
You say that, but if we get the right draws and if we pick up the wins and the performances in Europa, then we might have something. There might be something there. I mean, I know we're clutching at straws on the back.
No, Mike, you know what? I think you're onto something. I was having a conversation, I think it was with Marlon the other day, and I said, Jose Mourinho, if anyone can do it, he's probably the jammiest manager. If you remember when he was at Man United, he put all his eggs in that Europa basket and he won. But I just don't think, I think he's going to try and do the same with us. I think he's going forget the league. I'm going to go for the Europa League. And let's see what we can do in the McDonald's Cup in the final there, and see what we can do. The problem is, because it's Spurs, he's probably not going to be able to pull it off.
I know. And then what hope do we have then if Jose can't win a trophy?
Exactly. So are we going to wait? Are we prepared to wait to see what we already know is going to happen? I mean, what's today's date? The 20th of Feb or whatever.
9 weeks to the final. I think it is. 9 weeks to the Carabao final.
Who wants to
overtake us?
Who wants to take that up?
Deji, please. Deji,
who wants to respond to that on Deji? Because I think, personally, if we look at the style of play, we all know what we were buying into with Jose. And I say that Daniel Levy knew what he was buying in with getting Jose. He wasn't looking for Jose to play expansive, beautiful football. What I did expect Jose to do well, though, was play tactical football. And what I mean by tactical football is the opposition you play a team, you play a style and tactics to get the victory in that game. However, what happened was, I think, and this goes back to that 3-3 at West Ham, he's just thought, hold on a minute, my style of getting 2 goals up and then relying on my defenders to defend, this team can't do that. And since that point, we've been throwing pairings after pairings, and injuries haven't helped us, obviously, with certain players being out in the fullback areas. And, you know, Aurier and Regan, I think if those 2 players were playing consistently, we'd get out of jail a lot more than we are at the moment, because attacking-wise, I think we're doing all right in them areas if them 2 are playing. Yeah, we're going to concede goals, but we might probably win more games, you know, the 3-2s and the 4-3s and whatever it is. At this moment in time, because we're almost on the back foot, because of every time a team attacks us, we look like we're going to concede. We have nothing to build. And like I said, we're trying to build foundations on jelly. So Jose's now at this point where he's almost saying, oh, fuck, what can I do now? You know, what can he do? And I'm not going to say he doesn't take any responsibility, because of course he does. But you can't build foundations on jelly. And we are the most important areas in a team where you're playing supposedly a solid defense has to be your centre backs. We don't have that. So it's really simple for me. If we don't sort this out in the next 8, well, not even next 8 weeks, because the finals in 9 weeks, you said, if we don't sort this out in the next week or so, it could have a real massive effect going forward. And I'm not just talking about this season, but going into the next season, because players are going to be disillusioned. They're not going to want to play that style of football and not get results. You want to play, you don't mind playing that style of football if you get results. If you don't, the Sons, the Canes.
The style of football that he wants to play, you need the right. I mean, he's got a team that is very much playing the way that, or they're used to playing the way that Pochettino was playing. Now they're sort of almost having to play opposite, as in they're playing a more defensive game rather than more an attacking game. And some of these players just aren't built for that. They're you can see with the performances and the way we're sort of set out to play. They're just tactically, I think half those players are inept to play the way Mourinho wants to play. So unless he gets given the chance to get in the transfer window and clear out some of the deadwood, bring in the Mourinho type of players that can play that counter-attacking style of football that he wants, or that is obviously clear that he wants us to play, then it's never gonna. Do much with. Here's
one for Mr. Bashman. This is one for you. Like this one. Dunk is an old school defender who likes to defend first. He's better than Dyer and Sanchez all day long. So now, Marlon, Dunk is Dunk on our list to get?
Nope. Nah, sorry. We're clutching at straws. We're clutching at straws there. Sorry.
I mean, that's what it's come to, man.
I will stick with Dyer and Sanchez all day now. Sorry, no.
I'd rather Dunk than Sanchez doing flipping naps.
I like footballing defenders, even though they're making 101 mistakes. You know what it is? I blame the manager. We shouldn't be in this position. It's solely down to Mourinho. And even Doherty. Oh, he was shocking today. He fell off
Space.
But he doesn't play enough football.
That one is
but they don't play enough football. And our defense keep changing. I think he needs to leave our defenders for at least 3 or 4 games and see how it goes. You can't keep changing players and expect.
I agree, you can't keep changing. But when you see the mistakes that they're making, can we afford to just leave them in? I don't think we can afford to.
You might as well. The league's over.
And what? Just lose like this? Oh,
look where we are in the table. I think this is back to the 90s or 80s. I'm quite embarrassed.
This season is now. Well, the league is now down to finishing above Arsenal. As sad as it sounds. If we don't finish above Arsenal, we will get clowned for a long time.
He's got nothing to lose by just playing Rodon at centre back in the Premier League for the rest of the season. He's got nothing to lose.
He's not in the Europa League squad.
Use it for experience.
Yeah, he's not even in the Euro. Again, these decisions to not put him in the Europa League squad, it baffles me. Joe Rodon, for me, has probably been our most consistent. Maybe Toby's been more consistent, but Joe's definitely
most consistent of our inconsistent defenders. I think that's
Joe's definitely better than Sanchez and Dyer, and he's been here since January. So for me, like, just play the guy, embed him into the squad, get him ready for next season. It's hard. Go on. Sorry, Deji.
Yeah. No, sorry, Darius. I was just going to say, it does look like Jose's on a self-sabotaging mission, because when you look at Joe Hart and you think that Joe Hart is ahead of Gazzaniga, I
know. It's true.
That's baffling. That is baffling.
Like, how has he sent the guy off to Spain like that? Like, really and truly, it's so true. Like, these decisions being made are wrong.
It kills us. It's
crazy. It is baffling. Like Rodon not being in the squad, Gazzaniga getting left out. Like, some of these decisions being made have to be held. Someone has to be held accountable. And at the end of the day, go on. Sorry.
Go.
I was just going to say, at the end of the day, I don't think the decisions are being made necessarily by Levy, because I don't think he would want to get rid of Gazzaniga over Joe Hart. But I don't know. Someone's got to take responsibility for these decisions being made.
Mike, here's a comment here. Mike, will you admit Bailly would get into the Spurs team? That's from Solo.
Who?
Bailly.
Solo supports Man United, so he knows what we're going through. He knows what we're going through. He's a United fan.
I know you're going to respond to the comment. I'm not responding.
No comment. No comment there. No comment.
He's trolling.
So everybody's kind of laughing at what Pipes was saying earlier. At Mr. B, I can only call it as I see it and let him off lightly, to be fair, and obviously still talking about what we were talking about earlier. Remember the comment I made about Messi Lingard a few weeks back, and I got a laugh and he came and haunted you today. What did you think Messi Lingard played superbly well?
Sorry, Jesse Lingard. Did you see the celebration that they did? You took the piss out of us. They were doing sequence dancing in front. Nah, man, I'm not having that. I'm not having Jesse Lingard do that.
Him and Antonio, they weren't in the game today.
We can't let West Ham do this to us. This is bad. Like, this is not good. This is not good. Like I said on Thursday, we have to win the West Ham game. I don't care how we win it. We have to win the West Ham game, and we haven't won the game. We haven't won the game. I don't care if we've had 20 shots, 4 on top. Like, we haven't won the game. And for me, there's a lot that it can't. A lot can't happen going in the future in this game. That's what I think is the best to take from this game. A lot of things that happen in this game cannot happen. Well, one thing cannot happen in the future is those two cannot play. If I see those two play again, Deji, I'm 100% behind the fact that Jose is trying to sabotage himself and trying to get that 30 million.
Right, okay. If he does play them two again, apart from he could play them on Wednesday. I don't mind him playing them on Wednesday because the game's done. They can make mistakes. I don't even think we can throw that away. But if he plays them against, let's say, Burnley, knowing how Burnley play,
don't care.
I would. Yeah, I think I would lose it then, because
I don't care.
Then there would be something going on in and around those players that he would be playing them two together still, having watched the games back, because he would obviously he goes back and says he watches all these games back. That's all he does. He'll analyze.
And then at the end of the day, you're jeopardizing the team over playing a better team.
But what is he trying to get out of by playing them? That's what I'm trying to. I can't work out what he's doing by playing Sanchez, because I personally I've been on record and said that Sanchez isn't good enough. 100% isn't good enough. I don't care about his speed. I don't care about him blocking shot. He's not good enough. Dyer has now proved that he's not good enough, but we've known this for a while, and Poch has known this for a while. He's not a centre-back. He said he's a centre-back. He's not a centre-back. So what is it that he's trying to prove by playing these players? What is he hoping that gets out of him? Is it just confidence?
I really don't want to believe that this 30 mil thing's a thing, but if he plays him again, I'm going to have to start believing that Jose wants that big package, you know.
But I don't think he's... I've seen him sabotage himself at United, clearly, but he hasn't done that at Spurs yet.
No,
unless I'm blinded with our defender.
Maybe. I don't think he sabotaged himself.
At United, he definitely sabotaged himself. Some of the changes he made, but he hasn't really done it at Spurs yet.
Mate,
well, I don't.
Marlon, do you think we will beat Fulham?
We should
be. Do you think we will beat Fulham?
We should.
Is it home or away?
We are
away.
Oh.
Look at that.
When are we playing Fulham? We ain't got Fulham. When have we got Fulham?
I think the game after Burnley, isn't it?
Oh shit! No, I don't even.
Listen, these so-called easy games are not easy games for Spurs anymore.
There's no. You're right. That's
who makes these games difficult, though. This is the thing I'm trying to say. Like, these games aren't difficult because these teams are playing better than us. Our manager is setting us up to play in a way that we're not dominating games. So I can't like take that as a reason for like every game's going to be difficult. Every game's going to be difficult because we're playing a way that's making life difficult for us. We could just we could let off the handbrakes, let Kane and Son kill off teams, bro. And we wouldn't have this issue against the likes of Fulham and Wolves and stuff like that. Even if the team has got quality, we have got better quality.
Sorry, Darius, cut across.
Sorry,
Listen to this, lads. So our next few fixtures, if you take into consideration, the next one's on Wednesday against RZ Pellets, Wolfsburg, what you want to call them. Then Sunday against Burnley. And then we go into March. So these are the next games in March after the Burnley game. Fulham away, Crystal Palace at home, Arsenal away, Aston Villa away.
9 points for me.
Eurovision Song Contest, no point.
For me, it's 9 points. I'll give and take the Arsenal game. Villa again, they're good. That's what I'm saying. You can lose the Arsenal game, form whatever. That's cool. We shouldn't lose it, but
no.
We shouldn't lose it, but like,
hold on a minute. We can't lose to Arsenal.
We can't.
I'm serious. I'm serious in this because if we lose to Arsenal, there's a massive. We're done. We're done. We're completely done because Chelsea have beaten us up this season. West Ham have taken us this season. We've only got that to hold on to, that we've beaten Arsenal in the first game. If they come then and beat us, and then let's say they're above us in the table, they'll say, well, it doesn't even matter what you did against us earlier in the season.
Get the seatbelts ready, guys. Strap in.
We better strap in. We've got to strap in. It's going to be
a bumpy one for the last few weeks.
And this comment here from Jason is probably, spot on. Has Jose's tactics with Spurs just been sussed by everyone and there is no plan B? I think that's probably it. His way of playing in certain ways, right? If a team can deal with that first 15 minutes of us going for it to try and win that first goal, and if we don't get that first goal and then they score, we don't seem to have another plan B. Yeah, we can attack and we can throw players on, but there is no real plan B. Vinicius not even being on the pitch when you need a goal doesn't make sense. Do you know what I'm saying? You can take off.
For me, again, that's a sign that they've confirmed that, we ain't paying that money. It's no point.
Oh, the money. I knew that a long time ago. A long time ago, we're not paying that money for Vinicius. That wasn't happening. But what we can do is use the bar, use the player, use him to, his record suggests that. I know he's played in the Europa and the opposition has been great, but he's got a number of goals. He's got a number of goals every time he's played. So let's just see if he can play at that next level. Give him a few more opportunities. Don't give him 5 minutes. Give him more than that, surely.
It's true.
Yeah, I agree.
Gentlemen, last few words. I'll go round the table, as I say. Start with you, Mike. Last thoughts on today and then obviously going forward.
I won't swear. It was poor. I'm done with Sanchez. I'm done with Dyer. I say this week in, week out. It's like deja vu. Yeah. What can you say? There's nothing more I can really say.
That's enough. Yeah, that's enough. We said it all. Darius.
Couple things. One, if I see Dyer Sanchez as a centre-back partnership one more time out in the whole season, if I see it once more, I'm done. Like, I am done. Like, I will not watch. Like you said, Mike, I just won't watch. And then another thing is, I just want to see Jose play to the team's strengths a little bit more. I think if we are writing off this league per se, and we are just going to go for these cups, then cool. Play your way that you want to play in the cups. I don't have a problem. We have to win those games.
As long as we win them.
Without question, yeah. If you want to put 11 at the back and do what you need to do to win that game, you know more than me, mate. I'm not gonna say that I know more than you. So do your thing. For me, if you're writing off the league, then let's see a little bit of experimenting. Let's see a little bit of. We should use the league as a means of boosting our confidence each leg that we go on in the Europa League and leading up to the final. If we're not gonna play for league position, and let's see a few risks being taken. Let's see Rodon play in the league, because clearly the league is the throwaway at the moment. So let's see these players who might not be getting in that 11 start, Bales, Rodons, and let's see if they can push their way into the more important games. So that's it for me, really.
Marlon, what's your thoughts then? For now and then
first half was poor. Second half, I saw a lot of positives, so I'm not too despondent. I just think he needs to have a settled team. I'm actually got a change of my view today. I don't know. It weren't as bad as I thought. If they played poor and lost 2-1, then I'd be well pissed. But I think it's as Darius said, if they play to our strengths and we've got attacking players, just go for it. We'll be all right. But the league is over, though.
Oh yeah, the league's over. The top four, I'm not
even bothered.
Yeah, that's got.
I don't think anyone cares
Oh
anymore.
man.
Just finish above Arsenal, and it's sad me
Yeah,
saying it. Just finish
facts.
above Arsenal. I'm all right.
Let's go back to mid 2000s eras.
Deji?
Thank you. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it was a poor game. I personally want Jose out. I thought that the only positive thing was that Bell looked decent, and I think he deserves a run of games. But I've already come to the conclusion that we're done out here, and it's up to Jose. You know, if he can win the Europa League, I'll take it. I won't be happy, and that's it, really. You know, guys, we're in for a bumpy ride. You know, it's only one way, and
Told
it's
you guys
down at the moment. And
ready, man.
You know, and for me, the league is so weird this season. Nobody would have said at the start of this season that Liverpool, having had their amazing run for the last 3 years, amazing home run, would lose 4 games on a trot at Anfield. No one would have seen that coming. No one would have seen, you know, Manchester City being where they were, 14, 15, close to the early part of the season, and then just winning 16 games on the trot. These sort of things, it's making me think that there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes in these teams with regards to the situation they're in. However, taking all that into consideration, we ain't winning the league. We're very unlikely to get top 4, although mathematically, going on a massive run, we could get somewhere close to it. But I think there's teams above us that are better. We are in a final, the Carabao Cup, McDonald's Cup, we want to call it that. We have to win that to salvage anything from this season. Even if we finish lower half of the table, I would still accept that. I wouldn't be happy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to be doing cartwheels, but I would accept that for the fact that I think we have to win a trophy just to kind of get that pressure of not winning. The Europa League is now everything in terms of a focus for our team. We have to be playing every game of that like it's a cup final, and we have to play our strongest 11 every single match, whether that means sacrificing the league game, the next game on the Sunday. We have to do that. I personally believe that that's what Jose is going to do, and he's seen that. Would I trust Jose as a person to try and win a trophy like that? Yeah, because his pedigree suggests that he can do it. He's done that at United when they had a poor team and a poor defense. Can he do that at Spurs? Currently, what I'm seeing, not with that defense, he might need to settle them in some way. But like Darius said, we have to just do this clunk, click, and buckle up, because it's going to be a bumpy one from now until the end of the season. And that's Spurs in a nutshell.
If Pipes is bringing a jokester, I'll be able to put up with it. If Pipes has got any more jokes for the future streams, and it'll be a lot more tolerable, won't it? But I mean, flipping out, it's going to be tough if this keeps happening like this. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to be on here talking like this, man.
Just a couple more comments here then. So Jason, league position is just as, if not more important than the cup games. What's your thoughts on that? Because I've got a different thought about that process.
Not for Spurs. That's all I'm going to say.
Exactly. And I was going to say, not for Spurs, because we ain't won nothing. If it's Man United, I agree 100%. If it's Arsenal, again, I agree 100%. Not for us. We ain't won nothing since 2008. And even before that, the FA Cup goes back to 1991. So I'm like, no. We have to win something. That all I get in these WhatsApp groups, and any group I'm in, is, you lot ain't won nothing. Oh, but you played last football. But you ain't won nothing. Oh, you had pots. But you ain't won nothing. Until that happens and we win something, that's always going to be. The next thing after that will be, oh, well, you only won the McDonald's Cup. Okay, so we win something else. Oh, but you've only won the FA Cup. We have to build on that to the point where we can have a team. We've got the infrastructure, we've got the stadium, we've got the training facilities. There's no excuse from that perspective, but we have to now build on success. If we don't have success, so the short-term thinking from the from the board was to get short-term success. At this moment in time, it's looking very rough, and
they paid a lot of money to do it as well.
The season ain't over yet. That's all we can kind of cling. I'm doing that right now. Bam! There you go. Seatbelt in. I'm gonna go in for this.
We're all ready. We're all ready, aren't we? We're ready. We're ready for this,
family. We're all buckled up for this ride. Whew, it's been emotional, gents. I'm saying, I just need to go and watch some other football now, because
what time's Arsenal? 4.
That's 4:30. It's emotional right now, gentlemen. I'd like to thank you all, Mike, Darius, Deji, Marlon. It's been a pleasure seeing you all here, having your views. Let me get this last comment up before we go out with the credits, because it's time we need to get off this thing now. But as Spurs fans, we always turn up. So again, like, subscribe, share, comment, do all those things for FTB Sports. It's been a pleasure doing this show. Unlike some other fan channels where some don't appear when they lose, we do. And gentlemen, that is it. I will see you on the next one, hopefully for a little bit more of a positive.
Let's hope.
Bye.
Let's hope so.